All right, so let's talk about interviewing. So you get a position open and you're like, okay, I have one position or many positions to fill inside my business, but I don't even know where to start because every time I turn around, I'm interviewing somebody and it just is not working out. They're everything you don't want. So the first thing I'd have you look at is let's look at your post that you have out into the world. Like, what does the post say about the position? So you want to make sure that you are selling the position. So nobody wants to fold your laundry. So make sure it's sexy and it sells. But another thing is, where are you posting it? Where do you have it? Is it on Indeed? Are you at the local cosmetology schools? Are you using your social media? Are you asking for referrals in your area? So I want you to take a look at like, what does your post look like? Where are you posting? And then let's take a little bit of a conversation about what is the person that you're looking to hire? Like, what are the qualities of that person? So when I went to go to hire a position, I was attracting all of the wrong people. And I realized I first had to get clear about the qualities of a person that I wanted to hire. So the first thing that I was looking at was, okay, maybe I want them to be dependable, happy, joy, that they have a support system outside my salon, that there are these different qualities. And I love to list at least 10 qualities of my new hires so that whenever I am putting something out there and I run across the person, that I know that I'm interviewing the exact person for the job. And I start to look at my culture and what does my culture need when it comes to the qualities of this person, or what positions need to be filled to up-level my guest experience to really live inside of my mission statement. So when you are looking at interviewing, when you are looking at recruitment, the most important thing is making sure that what you're putting out there is exactly what you're looking for. All right, so you've interviewed them, you've hired them, and then you have to take a look at your onboarding process. So they are like the perfect people within the first, however many days, they are the magical unicorn. You're so happy that you hired them, and then something happens. And they are maybe not the right fit, or maybe they are the right fit, but you're like, okay, what do I do now? How do I make this really magical for both them and I and our experience with these new hires? So one thing I absolutely love to do is make sure that my onboarding process is solid. That from the moment that they start working for me, that I really talk about my culture and how important it is that we live inside of our values, that you're clear about my vision and where I'm headed inside this business. So anytime I hire a new person, within the first 2 hours of their experience of us is gonna be inside of an orientation with my manager. We have a checklist that we go through. We have a PowerPoint presentation we go through. And stats show that about 4% quit within the first, couple of hours of working for a company. And I promise you that is a celebration. Because if you are super clear about that new hire and what you expect from them and what they can expect from you, it is golden information. Whenever you are doing that, we have to look at how can we maximize this new hire? How can we get them really not only fitting into the culture, being clear about expectations, but then also creating the revenue so that they are not just kind of draining us from our hourly wages. That sometimes really does happen. So when we're looking at this, we want to make sure and goal set with your new hires. So as we're training them, that they're also super clear from the moment that they start working for you that we are a goal-focused company, that we are looking at the type of goals from how much services you need them to be doing to the retail, if they are front desk, the importance of sales and service. So that your new hires are so clear from day one that this is what's expected of me when it comes to sales, and that they really start producing so that they pay for themselves inside of themselves. All right, so you hired this person and you're like, what is the career path that I need to take them down? I got you. So what I love to do, which does work for me, is this. First of all, just hire. Always be recruiting, you know this, and always be hiring. Because if you find that perfect gem, I promise you they are worth hiring. But then what do you do with them, okay? So the best thing you can do is put them at the front desk at first. Let them learn the front desk for 2 weeks, for a month. So you're kind of like feeling them out to make sure that they are the right vibe. Now from there, they can then get hired into the position of like an assistant or even becoming a stylist on your floor or a spa technician. But you always want to make sure you put them at the front desk first. Even if they're eating away at your hourly payroll, I'm sorry, but it is worth it. Because you do not want to train people that are not worth training. And so if you put them at the front desk, you can kind of like, I don't know, date them for a little bit before you really invest in some advanced training for them. So when you hire a new hire, consider putting them at the front desk no matter what position they're going to be at. And not only this, like if they learn your front desk and they really are effective at that, they understand the flow, the customers, the products, and everything, then they can be really, in their downtime, be supporting you at the front desk. So say your front desk calls in sick, because Lord knows that happens. Then they can then work the front desk if somebody calls in sick or whatever. So you always have somebody available to be working the desk. I promise you, front desk to assistant, then as a technician, is really a higher success rate than just hiring them right on and going right onto your floor. This is going to allow them to really understand your culture, your vibe, everything about your business, and they're going to have a lot more confidence. Let's talk a little about cash flow issues because you don't have enough service providers. Well, that happens, all right? It actually happened to me last year. I had a team and then I lost half my team. I've actually had multiple walkouts as a business owner. Every time it happens to me, it's really one of the best things that ever does happen here because it allows me to really take a look at my culture and redefining it and really making sure the people I have hired really work for what I want to. So there are gonna be times that the services are not coming in, the retail's not coming in like you need to even pay your bills. But we wanted to start to look at, okay, how do we go from half staff to fully staffed again? It's always be recruiting. It's always recruiting. It's always hiring. It's having a solid training in place. And from day one that your new hires understand that this is how much money I need you to make, not only to pay for yourself, but also for profitability. Because if we have a profitable company, we're way more sustainable. And our employees are happy because we're happy. And then we also get to do really cool things with our team. So yes, it is going to take some time. It will take time to hire a new person, to train them, to do all these things with them. But at the end of the day, I promise you it is worth it. It is how my company has stayed over $1 million for over the last 10 years is because I do believe in this path and the path does work. And I'm also not afraid to lose people. And as a non-technician owner, that's a really big deal because most of you can just go behind the chair and save your business. I cannot. I actually have to depend on people to be providing the service. And the way to do that is through a strong training program. So yes, I get it. You probably have like new hires, they're not paying for themselves. You don't even really know what to do with them. But I promise you, if you keep on training them on the goals and how to make the goals happen, they do become a profit center for you. Service providers, their timing and the amount of money they make. If we can all understand that we do one thing, which is sell time, then we would realize the faster we go, the more money we make. Or we have to double how much we're charging to even make the kind of money that we all want to make. So many times I hear that people want to be six-figure earners, but what does that take? Well, if you're only selling blocks of time, you're either going to have to go a little bit quicker at your services or charge more for them, right? Seems like a simple formula, but yet it gets so complicated. So when we're looking at this, I really want to make sure that inside of your salon and spa, that you have required time, that you have like a base price, like X amount for a haircut, and that it should only take you X amount of time to do that. Anytime beyond that, you need to charge extra for it because really you are just selling time and blocks of time. So whenever you do have a new hire or you have service providers where they're taking 4 or 5 hours to do a hair color, by God, they better be charging for that. It is not fair for the company to be losing out because you decided to do a 4 or 5 hour hair color, but you didn't charge for it because you're too worried about the client's pocketbook. So it's very important that we train our team on this is how we do it here. This is the time frame in which you do it, and this is what you charge. If you go beyond that, you charge X amount. So our job is to teach them the business side of it. Their job is to make sure that their technical skills are aligned with the price point that you're looking for. Let's talk about having a plan for our clients. All right, so I don't know about you, but I also notice a lot of times our team can come in and just run in the day, grab a cape and get to their station because our first guest is still waiting on them. Consider this is not really what we want to see happening inside of our business. We would love for our team to come in and bring intention, pull an intention card, fill out their money makers, create the plan and create the strategy. Then magically go to their station and do a beautiful consultation on the guest every single time. What we're not hearing and we don't want to be hearing is, so what are we doing today? Or same thing as last time. That just doesn't work. So if you want to have a really productive, efficient, effective service provider that is at their highest level, we want to start with their consultations. We want to make sure that 85% of our success is how we communicate. Only 15 is technical, but yet we rush through these consultations. Our consultations will set us up for success. It will listen to our guest needs. We can offer solutions. We know exactly what service we need to be providing. We might need to add on a service or take away. We need to talk to them about the at-home care and how to use their home care at home, how to do their hair, all while making sure that they book their next appointment. This all happens inside of the consultation. So when we're looking at this, like I said, from the moment the service provider walks in the door, to their experience on how they start their day, to their consultations, to how they say goodbye to their guest, is very powerful in how we can make sure that our service providers are really listening to the guest needs and offering solutions. Our job is to educate, the client's job is to choose.